So what's come to your mind in terms of what you'd like to do?
I have looked at potentially somewhere down the line opening up my own business, a consulting type firm that would consult to aerospace, primarily dealing with project management.
Good. What's stopped you from achieving that or going after that?
Life.
Life.
Life in general.
Is it financial? Is it time-wise? What's kind of stopped you from that?
I think it's been a little of both of those and other diversions. I have a daughter, so I mean, there's life, kid issues, home issues that go on, as well as the job itself. I realize that I'm in the middle of transitioning. The company has a lot of opportunities at this point, so I'm trying to make the most of my time, my age, everything that I can take advantage of right now to achieve whatever that plateau is within the company.
Mm-hmm.
Then I have a goal, at some given point to perhaps pursue more of this consulting, even maybe pull my wife into it at some given point as well. Mm-hmm. All those things, as well as I'm not exactly certain about financial, to be honest with you. I don't know that it would require, it's not like going out and opening up a Starbucks franchise, which, by the way, I don't even think you can open up a Starbucks franchise, but you get my point, You're talking about a lot of capital outlay. I don't think it's that type of business, nor does it require that type of capital. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's necessarily a big factor.
Right. Yeah, because there would have to be the survival resources while you get the business up and running.
Yeah.
Where with a franchise such as Starbucks, well, first thing you have to do is just move the other 5 stores over a little bit so you could squeeze yours in.
Exactly. Right.
That would be the first obstacle. But then, of course, you're going to have to get the employees, and you're going to have to get the inventory, and then pay the space that you're going to be occupying.
Right.
Things like that. So there's those, but in consulting, you don't have those particular startup costs, but you do have your living burn rate that you have to run through.
Right. And the other thing is I have been involved in some businesses in the past that were, one was retail, and there is overhead, a lot more overhead than a consulting type business. There is all the worries of having all these employees if they're going to show up on time. So I certainly would want to stay out of that kind of business.
Right. I totally agree with you.
I'm about to ask the key question in this phone call to get the relevant information why Joel would look at a business. Pay close attention.
And if you had this consulting business, do you think it would give you the dream that you have? In other words, what is it that you would say, you know what, ultimately what I'd like to do is blank. And if that is living on a yacht, if that's too personal and you don't want to tell me that, that's fine. But
well, I guess you're asking me the question, what do I want out of this?
Yeah. What does it give Joel?
It would give me more financial freedom, which I don't know if that's living on a yacht or just having the ability to, at some given point in my life, 10 years, 15, 20 years down the road, that if I choose, I can have a lot more, certainly I would have a lot more control over my own destiny from a financial standpoint. Be able to leave maybe there'd be some legacy, more of a legacy, a larger legacy for my children, my daughter.
That's awesome.
To pinpoint it to, I want to live on the beach. Well, yeah, of course I would like to live on the beach, but that's farther down the importance chain.
Yeah. So leaving a legacy for your daughter, as well as be able to have just more control over your own time and your own finances are right now what you can see is that you want to achieve.
Exactly.
And you feel as though that the consulting business would do that?
I think it's a good opportunity to do it without being heavily stoked with a lot of upfront costs.
Good. Yeah. I can see that.
All right. There were a lot of good lessons in that call. The primary one was how I use the direct approach. You also got to hear that I have one more sound for you. I didn't tell you about that sound before because I wanted it to surprise you. That bell sound you heard is what I use to indicate that we've located that very valuable thing our prospect wants. I want to get your ears calibrated to hear the exact moment when the prospect says their need, want, or don't want, because that is what a professional networker is all about. They find this thing a person wants, and they help them get it. So my dream, Tim Sales' dream, is that whenever you hear your prospect say their real need, want, or don't want, that a bell goes off in your head, and that bell indicates that you can now be of service to someone. You can help someone now. All right. Can you tell where my passion is? All right, let's move on to qualifying purchase leads. When working with purchase leads, it's pretty straightforward. In many respects, it's easier to work purchase leads than any other, simply because they've somewhat qualified themselves as to needing or wanting a business, unless your lead source is giving you lame leads. The downside, of course, is that other people may have purchased this lead and have already called this prospect, or something may have changed between the time they filled out the questionnaire and when you're calling them. Again, much has to do with your lead source. Some of the biggest names in the business sell their leads 20 to 50 times each. Once you have a good lead source, the main thing you want to do is find out why that prospect wants to own their own business. Then, of course, help them get it. I'll give you the qualifying scripts I use, starting with the greeting, so you get the flow of it. The greetings go something like this. Hello, can I speak with John? Hi, John. My name is Tim Sales. You filled out a questionnaire indicating that you're interested in a home-based business. Then the qualifying questions go something like this. I'm calling to find out if you found what you're looking for. Or, I'm calling to find out what type of business you're looking for. Or, I'm calling to find out if what you want is a match with our business. Then further qualifying questions are, do you have a particular business in mind? Have you ever owned your own business before? If so, what happened with it? What do you want to achieve by owning your own business? How would you quantify that? What things would you not want in your business? What, if you heard it, would you go, that's what I'm looking for? Let's go to a couple of live calls with purchase leads. On these purchase leads, if you hear me reference that the prospect has indicated something or has stated something, what that means is that when the prospect submitted their contact information to the lead company, there were a few questions that were asked of the prospect, like, what's the main reason you want a home-based business? How much money could you invest in a home business? Questions like that. So that's what I'm referencing when I'm talking to the prospect. Hopefully that clears up or prevents any confusion you may have. On this call, we'll pick back up on Nadira. She's the foreign doctor who was told by the first person who bought her lead that she didn't qualify. I think that person needs to hear professional inviter. What do you think? From the qualifying scripts I gave you just a few minutes ago, see if you can pick them out in the live call. Remember, the reason you do the qualify step is to find out what someone needs, wants, or doesn't want.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I am not that person. I'm not calling in regards to that person.
Seems like I had no chance to work at home.
Well, I disagree with that.
Well, yeah.
I think that there would have been several people who have said I couldn't have done it, but I ended up being able to. Did he give a particular reason why he felt that you couldn't?
Not really.
All right.
But, I just decided not to do it because, well, I tried something else.
What are you going to try?
Because I'm a foreign doctor, a medical doctor from overseas, and I'm here getting my equivalent, and in the meantime I was looking for a job, and I thought working at home was the best way for me to do it.
Any particular specialties that you have?
Yes, GI, gastroenterology.
Gastroenterology, yes. And so are you wanting to work in that particular field here in America?
Well, I was, that was my first plan. But, I know it will take a long time to get there, like at least 3 or 4 years. And, everything can change in 4 years. You never know what's going to happen.
Well, unless you make it happen, one or the other.
That's true, yeah. That's why, I wanted to do something at home that's related with at least a medical field.
Yes. Where are you from originally?
Algeria?
Nigeria?
No, Algeria.
Algeria?
Yes, it's, I'm sure people know more Morocco. You know Morocco is just East Morocco.